Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Well, we're out here once again working on the 1970 Dodge Super Bee, otherwise known as the Super Beast. And this car looks a whole lot different than what it did even just yesterday. So got the engine, transmission, full suspension, everything obviously out of the car. Got it up onto the rotisserie last night. Went ahead, welded up all the little holes, like all the screw marks and everything, like from putting in the floor pans and all the frame rail work that we did, all the chassis stiffening stuff. Welded all that stuff shut, cleaned up any sort of slag or anything loose, any sort of rusty or problematic areas. I also went ahead, wire wheeled everything. It is all currently in zero rust, and it's ready to spray in epoxy. So the epoxy that I'm going to be using today is Lumabase. It's available here in Ogden, Utah at my local paint shop. I've used this stuff on basically every single car you've seen on the channel. Works fantastic, sprays great. Now, the temperatures today, it's hot as shit here in Utah today. I want to say it hit 104 degrees today, so it's a late afternoon. I want to say it's about 85 or so. We're going to be using the slow reducer today, and hopefully we won't have any issues with paint curing as I go to spray it on the car. Now, you probably noticed there is no masking whatsoever on the car. Frankly, I'm not really concerned with anywhere that the epoxy gets, because if it is on any of the exterior body panels, all that stuff is going to get cleaned up and sanded, because I'm going to try to get most of this car actually in primer here in the next week or so. So whatever gets up there or anywhere else that it shouldn't be will be sanded off. Now, I won't say the same for the Raptor liner. That stuff will stick to everything it touches. So after we get it epoxied tomorrow, I will go ahead, mask everything off for the Raptor, and we'll get this thing undercoated and make it look brand new. So the benefit of doing this now is that the car will hopefully never ever have to be up on a rotisserie again. The entire bottom side will be finished, and then we can just worry about the body work after we get back from the Holly Mo Party event in 2.5 months. Running out of time. So let's go ahead, let's get some paint mixed up, and let's put some color on the bottom side of this car. Alrighty guys, so I got the bottom side of the car all epoxied, and as you can see here, the black areas, I do have it in a POR 15 top coat. Any area where you're gonna be applying things, so there's tight tolerances or rod ends, or in my case, like all the 4-link goodies, your rear spring mounts, anything like that where you need something to sit flat or fit into a tight space, you do not wanna put the Raptor liner in there because you're gonna build up the thickness and you're gonna have a hell of a time fitting it in here. You'll end up taking one of your sanding discs to it and coming back with POR 15 top coat if you forget. Ask me how I know. So I've gone ahead and done that already. You know, areas where I've got things that thread into the bottom, you know, like your seatbelt holes, all that kind of stuff. If you spray it on your threads, things are going to be a little bit more difficult to put on the car. But, you know, really at this point would be the stage where I would actually start masking. But I think maybe against my better judgment, I'm not going to mask anything. The outside of the car still has to get completely sanded down anyway, so I'm not super worried about it. And from experience, you know, the gun that does come with the Raptor liner kit, I have the nozzle extended out all the way. What I have found is that in like your really tight areas, you can back the pressure off a little bit. You can be very deliberate with where you're spraying, and I shouldn't have any crazy overspray. It does not come out in a huge fan that's uncontrollable whatsoever. It's very deliberate as far as where the material all goes. But really the car is prepped out, it's ready to go. It's been about 3 hours, I think, since I sprayed the epoxy on there. So let me show you guys this Raptor liner kit. This is an Amazon special. I always like to do it in black. You can get the tintable version so you can match like the body color. So, you know, if you had like a real high impact color, you wanted the bottom of the car to be purple or orange or something like that, you can get the tint to be able to do that. But essentially it comes with the Raptor liner material here. You've got the hardener, you have a measuring cup that you literally fill to the line, pour it in here, screw it into your gun, and well, you shake it for 2 minutes before you screw it into your gun. But after you mix it up, you can put it on there and go ahead and spray it. I want to say the instructions say between 40 and 50 PSI. Again, you can kind of back that off depending on what your feel is and kind of how things are turning out. But, you know, the first time I ever did this, especially with putting the epoxy primer in like a light gray or a white, I was really worried about coverage, but it covers so well in one coat, let alone coming back through here and hitting it with 2 full coats. You don't have any issue whatsoever with coverage. And as you guys will see, I'll actually take a flashlight with me and look up in all the areas, you know, where I may have missed little spots. And the good thing is that the white is almost like a guide coat, and so it stands out really easy with where you missed. So you guys will see me do that here in just a minute. But I want to say this kit is a 2-gallon kit, and you will use all but I believe 2 bottles of it with doing the bottom side of a B body. I believe this is the 3rd or 4th car that I've done with this stuff. So works awesome, absolutely tough as nails, and it will protect this car for my entire lifetime and probably T-bones as well. So yeah, let's go ahead, we'll get some mixing and get to spraying it on the bottom side of the car. Alrighty, you guys, well, I worked very late into the night last night. I think I finally put the spray gun down around 11:30 last night. So yeah, I'm very tired, a bit delirious, but the car is undercoated. Looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So he's pretty stoked. I'm definitely pretty stoked with it as well. But man, it turned out awesome. This stuff is absolutely tough as nails. If you guys have been on the fence at all about using Raptor liner products, definitely give it a shot. It's super simple to put it on, and man, you can't argue with results like that. The only bit of rework that I'm gonna have to do, I think, after spraying for a couple hours, I did get just a little bit sloppy with getting some coating on some of these areas where we have parts that mount up. But you know what? If it creates an issue and I go to install the rear end, then we'll address it at that point, but I'm not too hung up on it. Another bit of positive news, you guys can see just the touch of spatter kind of overspray across here. I can take that off in about 30 seconds with a DA sander, so a whole lot easier and quicker to do that than to have wasted, you know, better part of an hour, 2 hours, having to prep it all out and having to mask off everything. Now, if you do have a finished paint job, of course, I would recommend masking that up. But man, it is like really, really good, solid coverage across really the entire thing. You guys saw here up on the front, I did go ahead and do the entire inside of the inner apron there, as well as a bit of the firewall. All that stuff hidden behind fenders, but a very popular place that if you do drive the car in the winter, if you do drive, you know, a lot of water situations, okay, these areas do rot out very, very commonly. But you can see here, coated the inside of the bottom part of the frame rail. Same thing with the radiator support piece here. You know, just like the factory would have done, like with the blackout option here. When you do the on the bottom side of the radiator support, kind of the first half across the bottom gets that bit of undercoating. The top half here, it is currently an epoxy, so it is protected, but I might go ahead and spray that in the beige once that gets here tomorrow. So I'm losing track of the days. The time is absolutely flying. Thankfully though, progress seems to be flying on the car as well. And I know T-Bone here is very anxious to get this car off the rotisserie, get it on the ground. We have to install the rear axle. We also have the complete engine build of this beautiful 6.4 liter Hemi. I've got a ton of go fast parts and make it look good parts from Holley that will be installed here hopefully by the end of the weekend. So I'm just trying to fly through this, do it right, do it one time, and man, hopefully make this car fly. And like I keep saying, hopefully with any luck, we'll make it to that Holley Mill Party event coming up here in September. So bit of a short video, guys, but just wanted to share this with you. We have a ton of work to do. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this out real quick so we can get it out for you guys tomorrow. And yeah, it won't be long for the next update. So, you ready to get to work?
Yes.
All right, guys, we'll see you again next time. Take care.